He bought himself a mountain bike not long ago, you know. Never should have bought it, but he got rid of his chopper and he got the mountain bike. Martin, stop laughing. Listen, he got this mountain bike. Of course, you see, now, listen, Martin, I'm serious. Now he's got this mountain bike, he can't cock his leg over it. Because when he does, he gets a nosebleed. And the doctor said, Everard, your cocking days are over. Get rid of the mountain bike at once and do more walking. You saw his legs and, well... Go on, Martin, ask me something.
How did you get started all those years ago?
Oh, made a silent film called Sealed Lips. If I start back from when I was in the nativity play at school when I was 4, and I was one of the shepherds, you know, in a sack, and I saw these 3 kids in glitter. And I said, who are they? They said, they're the wise men. So I said, well, why can't I be one of the wise men and put that glitter on? They wouldn't wear it, would they? See, even then I knew what it was about.
I've completely gone now. I tell you.
Well, it serves you right.
No, you actually started on the stage, obviously,
yes.
before you moved on to television. Was it variety that you were doing at that time? Was that
of course. Well,
was it the spice of life for you?
Oh, well, of course. At the times I played Leicester Palace. Oh, dear Leicester Palace. Never should have been pulled down, you know. Your lovely opera house. Oh, there were lovely theatres. And, of course, I did them all. Derby Hippodrome. I played there 3 times in variety. And I used to come over to Leicester Palace, you know. First house on a Tuesday night. Some friends from Nuneaton used to come over and bring me. They used to say, would you like to come with us? And many years ago, there was a show there at the Palace, and I think it was called Harlem to Piccadilly or something. And a friend of mine said, you must go because there's a marvellous girl on, very small on the bill, but she's marvellous. So I couldn't go because I was at Derby Hippodrome. So I said to a friend of mine in Leicester, get into the Palace and see what this girl's like, and then phone me tomorrow and let me know. And he went, and he did. He said, Larry, she's got it. She's wonderful. He said, she comes out and sings a couple of songs. The rest of the things, nothing, but she's marvellous. And do you know who it was?
No.
Shirley Bassey. You see, when I did, before Saturday Variety, I did a variety show with dear Leslie Crowther. Nobody knew me. And William G. Stewart produced There's Now 15 to 1. My manager was always talking about me, you see. And then one day he said to him, I've been let down. I've had some awful comics on lately, first comics, you see, and Leslie wants somebody stronger. He said, what about this lad of yours, Grayson? So he said, he's very good. He said, so my manager said, he's going to phone you and tell you about it. I'm warning you. So about 11:30 one night, I think he'd had a drink, and he phoned me and he said, your manager tells me you're very good. You are, aren't you? I said, yes. So he said, well, how would you like to be on Sunday recording with the Leslie Crowther? It's called the Saturday Crowd, I think it was. And I said, yes. And it was recorded at Golders Green. And I remember very well, Buddy Greco was topping the bill, and the Beverly Sisters and dear old Albert Modley. Anyway, I did it, and I was a very big success, and Leslie Crowther was, you know, lovely. Anyway, Michael Grade, who was looking after me at the time, said to Leslie Crowther, he was going to Paynton for the summer with Crowthers in Town with John Hanson, Basil Brush, big variety bill, big review, 16 girls, 8 boys, big orchestra. He said, how about Larry Grayson being with you? And Leslie Crowther, God love him, said, oh, could you get him? And I did. I went with the show. And when he used to introduce me, he used to say, of all the guests out of my television programme, the funniest and the nicest of them all was Larry Grayson.
It wasn't long after that you started to make a name for yourself with your own television series as well.
I went into Saturday Variety, 4 minutes, 3 times live on a Saturday, and after the first one, Colin Clues let me loose. He said, I said, I'm no good with scripts. He said, well, you do what you want. And they all went and said, oh, Colin, it's live. He said, you'll be all right. And I went out, and what I said I was going to do, I didn't do at all. It was all different, you see. At the start, I said, shut that door, the drafting air. As that's my friend Everard. He's standing at the side with cocoa in case I faint. And all this rubbish. And Lou Grade rang and he said, where have you found him? They said he's been going around for hundreds of years in variety. He said, how long have we got him for? He said, 3 weeks. Double it 6 weeks immediately. And I stayed and did 16. And then I did my own half an hour Friday night, 7 till 7:30, was shut that door. And then I did my own Christmas show. And at the end of that, out come Eamon and said, Larry Grayson, tonight this is your life. And that was all in 1 year, 1972.
Where did it all come from? Where did
I don't
Slack
know.
and Everard and
people I know
shut that door?
I know. My mother was the worst. My mother said, "Where's he got it from?" And all the relations said, she said, "Poor Ethel," because I came from the Angels, you know. We didn't know my father, and they said, as if she hasn't got enough to put up with, that son of hers is going on the stage. Oh, poor Ethel. Oh, traipsing around the country, sleeping in all different beds every night with somebody else. It did awful. And it wasn't like that at all.
No.
Oh, I've been through the mill, you know.
Now, do you ever rehearse, or is it
No.
all off the top of your head?
Yes. And I'm better now because I talk to the audience, see. I've got this way now. Instead of just doing my act like I used to, I have more time. So I talk to people in the audience. And if I spot anybody, I said, "Oh, he's still alive." And it always cheers them up. I mean, I say, you know, I used to keep on about my legs and all the pain down one side. Well, of course, I get it now, you see, being 39. And, of course, recently I've had operations on my eyes, you know. I've had implants. One eye was going, so I'd have an implant. Then I'd have the other done. And but I can see all right now, you know, but it was terrible. I kept falling over everything. And I kept blaming the dog. I said, "Get from under my feet." It was me. And somebody said, "You've got to get your eyes." And so I went into hospital, very nice. But you can't do any more now. They just have to keep putting drops in. And then I get a bit hard of hearing. That's another thing now. But I can't have one of those things with the trumpet because it looks silly, wouldn't it? And I'm falling apart, really. It's been lovely, Martin, talking to you, and it's lovely being back in Leicester again.
It's a pleasure talking to you as well.
Yes.
I think I might upset you now. We're going to play another track from that album.
You're not.
This one's called Shut That Door.
Oh, Martin, you were after I've kind of been sitting there and traipsing over from Nuneaton.
Shut that door, it's freezing cold in here.